Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your host, BiggestRayRay. We're doing another quarantine live stream. We are making social distancing easier with YouTube. I hope y'all are having a fantastic Saturday. It is cold and kind of meh outside here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. My apologies for starting late. I'm seeing some of the comments pop up right now. And my friend in Kentucky, Michael Bradley, said Ray is late. And I'll say this now. He said it for years. He's always called me forever and a day. One of my many nicknames I've picked up over the years. And that's because, well, I tend to run a few minutes late with everything. So I'm seeing Laura Goodell in the room. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for being here. And I always love it when you come on. Big hugs from Oklahoma as well. Thank you so much for being here. So we've been spending a lot of extra time with Dawn today because we can't really go anywhere. It's to be expected. So we've been playing some Roll For It, a little dice game with the kiddo downstairs. Help wifey build a spreadsheet for her job today, which was a lot of fun. I got to learn a couple new formulas. And so, yeah, just overall great day. But I'm excited. Another personal friend of mine is going to be joining here in just a minute. His name is John Lewis. He's a professional filmmaker and also an up-and-coming YouTuber. He does a lot of videos on tutorials and how-tos, a lot of behind-the-scenes type stuff, how to set up lighting. Even the blue and the orange lights that I have here, John Lewis helped me pick out, and he's helped me work with making my stuff better. I've got a long way to go. I'm not the pro he is yet, but he's a great guy, loves to help people out, and that really fits my mantra of, be biggest, be what makes somebody else's day great. And John has been a guy that has really helped me learn a lot with cinematography, if I could speak on a Saturday. And a big part of that is proper lighting. So obviously I have a lot of ways to go, but I'm a lot further than what I was. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring John Lewis on. And hi, Stephanie Carper. How you doing? Hello, Deborah Miller. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. And here's John. I hope he's ready to pop on.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Best day ever. Because why not, right?
Right. Why not? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Yes, indeed. So how are things with you and the family right now and with the quarantine? Has that changed your day-to-day life any?
It has. We've been kind of hunkering down in the whole stay-at-home thing, which has been interesting to say the least. Like, my kids are, I'm sure your little girl is too, home from school for the rest of the year. And we're kind of figuring that out. Someone posted on Facebook, and I love this. They said that families home with their kids all day long is like being in a blender with no lid. Which is like so true.
Yes, it is.
How you doing? I can see your comment.
Yeah, and check. I love this right here, Joe. We can just pick out a comment and just pop it up on the screen. I love this new tool I'm using. Not at all a paid endorsement, but StreamYard is a fantastic piece of software.
I've actually never heard of StreamYard.
Yeah, so I learned about it 2 weeks ago. Chris Renzel.
Yep.
So it's something he stumbled on because we do a lot of live streams together. A lot of stuff on Facebook promoting local business in and around Tulsa, and he turned me onto it, and I'm like, this is a fantastic suite. I'm going to use this for my live stream.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I tend to like it quite a bit, and a bit of random here. I was raised by a cup of coffee.
Ray knows nothing of coffee.
So I don't know where that got started from, but Mike and I, we've been best friends for over 20 years, John. And I'll call him just to leave a voicemail and be like, I was raised by a cup of coffee.
I don't know if you knew this. You may have known this, but I'm like obsessed with coffee. Or like coffee snob, professional commercial espresso machine in my house. Like, I'm crazy. Like, everybody was stocking up on toilet paper. I ran to the store and bought coffee. Seriously.
And you make a mean espresso as well.
I do my best.
Yes. So I've only been to your home studio once, but I absolutely enjoyed the espresso I had there. Crafted very nicely.
I think it's because not only I'm a cinematographer, so I'm out shooting a lot, but I'm also like in here editing, and I do my backgrounds in visual effects. So I'm up like all hours of the night. I have to stay awake. So I was like, I need a cafe style espresso at my fingertips at all times. So
right. No, I know that feeling all too well. In years gone by, I was one of those people. I drank 2 and 3 liters of Mountain Dew a day. As I had to I worked incredibly long hours, traveled a lot more than I do now for the day job. And as I got older, Mountain Dew was just way too sweet. I can't stand this stuff now, but I turned to coffee, and I drank so much of that. I'm going on 5 weeks caffeine free though right now, John.
Good for you. I'm impressed. How do you feel?
Not the best. I miss it. Even at this point, I want it. But it has a negative effect on my blood pressure medication. And so I just cut it all out, and I've seen my blood pressure go way down to normal where it needs to be. So I'm happy for that.
Interesting facts. I don't know if you've ever seen, those like testing you can do that, like, it's like chemistry, almost like chemistry tests, but genetics. Anyways, they test your blood and stuff. They tell you what medicines are the work best for your body. And I actually took one of those tests last year, and it said that stimulants like caffeine or Ritalin or anything like that, like my body automatically absorbs it. And so like caffeine has zero effect on me. And I literally, I kid you not, have an Americano, 2 shots of espresso every night before I go to sleep. Like that's just my ritual, and I've done it for years. But I sleep like a baby. Like has no effect whatsoever.
Well, there you go. So I think I would be in that boat, except it has a negative effect. And I keep this at my desk so I don't forget to take it. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Cardidivol. Not that it matters, but yeah, that's mine. I take it. It is what it is. So yeah, good times. But we have another coffee lover in the house. Stephanie Carper is a #caffeine addict. So, and actually, I'm going to be on a live stream with her later tonight, John.
Is Stephanie? Stephanie, are you in Tulsa? Yes, no, maybe so.
So she is out of Tulsa. So personal friend. She's another up and coming YouTuber, and she's been doing a live stream on Saturday nights during the quarantine, like a virtual happy hour.
Nice.
And so we're gonna get on online with her a little later on and have some fun.
I actually went live yesterday morning on one of the photography pages I'm on to talk about lighting and answer any questions about video and lighting. So that was kind of interesting. I did a whole session Q&A on that. Had a lot of still photographers wanting to transition into video, asking me about like constant lighting versus like strobe or flash and what cameras to use and whatnot. And so we had a lot of fun kind of going over. Actually, that's why my camera is set up in the background right now, is because like I had all these lights set up, and then I had a couple cameras out. I was going over some technical stuff with those. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Right. So say you brought up the camera, John. I wanted you to tell the people that's a Red camera, right? A lot of folks might not be familiar with that and some of its capabilities. Can you give us a quick overview of what that is, what it does?
Yeah, so that is a Red cinema camera. Probably a lot of you have not heard of those cameras. However, you have definitely watched, if you watch TV at all, definitely watched some movies or television shows that was shot on Red cameras, like some of the more popular ones, or anything that a lot of the Netflix shows, like Stranger Things was shot on Red, and House of Cards, and The Hobbit, and Spider-Man, all those movies shot on Red. And
so J.J. Abrams uses a Red camera quite a bit, right? With the anamorphic lenses.
Sometimes he uses. JJ likes to shoot on film. But yeah, Reds are, especially Guardians of the Galaxy was shot on Red, mainly because Reds are really high resolution, and so they like for all the visual effects. Usually, if the show is visual effects heavy, like Stranger Things, Guardians of the Galaxy, then they'll shoot on Red. That camera, the one behind me, it shoots in 6K. Which is nice because I have all that resolution to play with in post.
Right on. So if this is not an appropriate question, please tell me. But can you give it, so just because it's a pro level camera, can you give us an idea of what something like that might cost if somebody's looking to get in at that level?
My wife actually gives me a hard time and says that that was basically her new car. Now a Red package will cost you, I mean, it's weird because Red is a modular camera. Modular meaning like you buy the brain, the body, and then you build it out. Even like you can choose what lens mounts you want. Like I've got a Canon mount on there right now. You can get like a Nikon mount or PL mount, but you build it out. So the body will cost you, that body I think is like $20,000, and then you build out on top of that. So my whole package is around probably 30-ish thousand, which is, it's just a lot of money, but what it does and what I do, you kind of need it.
Right. No, it totally makes sense. For me, I mean, that's a Ford truck.
Yeah.
But you know, I need that just to be able to fit in to scoot around because a lot of normal size cars just aren't built for Ray Ray. So we had a question in here, John. What are your thoughts on a Sony mirrorless camera for either stills or video?
I actually dig the Sony. I get, to be honest, I get asked this question probably once a month. Like someone random will hit me up and say, "Hey, what camera should I buy?" And that's a loaded question. Depends on, my answer is always like, what do you want? What are you shooting? B, what's your budget range? And C, like, what kind of project do you want to see yourself progress to? And so those three questions, I help people build a camera package based on that. I actually just helped a girl find a Sony mirrorless. She got a A7R2. I think that's what we found for her, and she loves it. I mean, Sony's a good camera, good starter camera. I see. That's a house payment. Yeah, that is.
Yes, that is. That's if that's your monthly house payment, man, I want to know what kind of mansion you're living in and what you're doing for a living.
A lot of people ask me that, how much was that camera, and people like freak out. But it's like, if you think about it, like no matter what your job is, you need tools for that job.
Absolutely.
And, yes, I have a unique job, but that's my work truck, if that makes sense. That is my, I don't know, that's my tool for my trade, and yeah.
No, I understand that. I'm just going to reach over and grab. I mean, you've seen my vlogging rig. It's nothing too special, but just in comparison, you know, the Canon M50. So pretty common camera. It's a mirrorless DSLR with the shotgun mic and the bendy. I was out just about $1,000 for this guy, and shoots in 4K, which is decent, especially for a small bodied camera. But, you know, for what I do on YouTube, for a lot of running gun, it's great, but it wouldn't serve what would need it to be on set for the level of stuff you shoot.
It's funny because right before this, we were talking about, I just got off a 3-day shoot, and we were using, and like I said, I was talking about lights on my live stream yesterday, and people asked me questions about lights. Somebody asked me, like, what is a good budget light? And we were talking about different lights, and like lighting for, I often on my YouTube, I light a bunch of stuff with a $10 light that I got at Home Depot. And I teach people how to light for stuff that's on a budget. However, like, you know, I also try to teach some people like the pro level stuff too. We were actually using a light. This is going to make you laugh, but we're using a light on our shoot the other day. One light cost $13,000 for one light.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an ARRI M18. That is a HMI. It's like 18K, 18,000 watts.
Ooh, yeah. That's a really bright light.
Yeah, it's a pretty beefy light, and what you use it for, we use it for like to mimic sunlight. We were in a studio and we needed a nice sunlight coming in for our daylight source, so we had that. We had it shooting through a 12 by 12, 12 feet by 12 feet sheet of silk that we had to diffuse that light, but it's a nice sunlight coming through.
So check this out. Oh, I just fell off my couch. Are you serious? Oh man, yeah, but you know, that's I've learned a lot about how expensive these things are. I always want, like, what does a movie cost so much? And even, you know, and I mentioned John he's a great teacher. He's allowed me to go on a few sets with him to shoot commercials and just see the gear he's got and what a lot of that costs. Like, wow, it's no wonder productions are so pricey.
Yeah.
But yeah, $13K for a light is like, whew.
It also takes a small army to make a movie or a TV show. I didn't. I actually, I don't know if I told you this, but there's a Matt Damon movie that shot in here back a few months back and shot in Oklahoma, and they were here for 6 days. 6 days. I worked on that for 3 of the 6 days, and I heard. I don't know if this is. I assume it's true because I saw all the gear and all the people they had out there, but they spent $1 million a day in Oklahoma for 6 days to shoot the 2 scenes or whatever that they were doing. But yeah, like they had basically a small town of people with them. They hired like 48 truck drivers, and like it was crazy, like absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. But yeah, if Matt Damon's in it, that's a big multi-million-dollar production. Yeah. Huge budget, well beyond anything I could do at this point in my life. One day I'd like to think I'll get there.
Being on a huge shoot, like we've said, like I do commercials for a living. So being on a huge movie set like that, I do I'll do an occasional movie, but like mainly commercials. But being on a way big set like that, it really shows you kind of how small you are in the pond. You know what I mean?
Right.
My position on that film was I was on the grip and electric team. The grip and electrics, what set up the lights and all the cables for the lights and all that. My position was called the rigging electric, and basically my job was to provide power to all the lights that are setting up. On one set, I kid you not, one set, I ran 1 mile of cable. 1 mile of cable from one set. And then when I say cable, I'm not talking about like little extension cords. I'm talking about like we did 9 wires. So 9 wires to a spider box, 1 mile. Yeah.
That's a whole lot of copper.
Yeah. And yeah, the generators on that show were bigger than my SUV.
Wow. Now I can imagine, because this was, filmed out in the middle of kind of nowhere land, Oklahoma, right?
And it was freezing cold because it was like that was a few months back in the dead of winter.
Right.
Like, it was so cold. They asked me if I wanted to do another day. I was like, no, I just want to go home. I'm so cold.
Wow. So no, that's good stuff, man. I love hearing stories like that because again, it gives me something to aspire to. Just YouTuber, like what can I branch out into from here? So I love hearing that, and it's great that more productions like that are coming into Oklahoma, and it's kind of becoming a trend. I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more like that movie. Scorsese was in town, but since the whole Corona thing that they all went back. But no, like I've worked on a couple different movies that rolled through town, and then commercials too. Lots of commercials. Walmart is starting to hire a lot more from Oklahoma. I've done a few Walmart commercials now, and it's quite amazing. Like some of the caliber of stuff. I travel, but not nearly as much as I used to because all the stuff's coming here, which is nice.
Right on. So I got to throw this up here, John. Lori is one of the members of the RayRay family that has been coming on almost daily here with the live stream. But she said today at the restaurant, one of the workers had the virus and had to get papers to get tested. So that's no fun. I certainly wish them the best if they do test positive. I hope they get the light end of it and don't wind up in the ICU on a ventilator or something else like that. That's no good.
The virus is a weird thing because you hear like different stories of people getting it and whatnot around you, but you're not like you're not close. Like, it's hard to say like, oh, I know this person has a virus. Like I can't personally say I know this person that has a virus. And I thank God for that because I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But I just found out the other day that my neighbor, his father, is in a coma right now with the virus, and
wow,
it really kind of brings it home. It's like it's a scary world out there right now. It's like uncharted territory, and but yeah, it's crazy. And stay home, people. Stay home.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So one of my employees on a project that I have going on in New York right now wound up testing positive for COVID a couple of weeks ago. And luckily for him, he was sent home to recover there. So he didn't get it bad. He was down and out for a few days, but was able to recover quickly, thank God. But it's scary, the wide variance of, symptoms and how bad people can get it. So you just try to assume that for the worst, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. and just because you never know. And so, our friend Haley is in from Sweden again. Thank you, Haley, for popping in. With Amy. So I hope you all are having a good weekend.
You have friends all over the world.
I do, man. The power of the internet. So any given day we might have somebody, folks in from 6 or 7 different countries here. So right now we know we got Ann from the UK and Haley in right now from Sweden. So I totally love that, man. So we're just a big group of friends. I call my subscribers the Ray Ray family. And I just love it, man. Great group of folks coming in and hanging out.
Anybody have any inside questions about the film and television industry?
Yeah, definitely. While we have John here.
Questions. Any questions at all? All my industry friends, all my film and television friends are kind of not working right now. It's kind of a weird thing. Like all the movies got shut down, all the Netflix shows got shut down. So everybody, my friends from New York that's working on stuff in New York, he actually came back home because New York is lockdowns like crazy right now. So he came home. He got out before they locked the city down, and so he's home. And yeah, I actually got on a shoot. I did a 3-day shoot, which was nice to actually work. But now, like, I don't have anything on the schedule. I might have something next week, but we'll see. Stephanie, how did I get started in the film industry? That is a loaded question. No. Okay, so I actually started off as a makeup artist. Many people don't know that. I started off as a visual effects makeup artist. I did monster makeup. I did like molding and latex work and all kinds of weird stuff like that. But I live in Oklahoma, and at the time, either my choices were to leave to get out of Oklahoma and do it for Hollywood, or just do it at Halloween time, and that wasn't gonna make me any money. So I picked up a camera, and my brother and I started shooting little short horror films with monsters and whatnot. And then when it was time to go to college, I really couldn't afford to go to film school, so I went to school for graphics and imaging, and fell in love with visual effects and motion graphics. So I got into 3D animation. I got into After Effects. And picked up a camera just to like shoot plates and add like visual effects in the shots and whatnot, and fell in love with cameras and cinematography. And I worked my way up, got good enough for people to start hiring me, and I shot weddings and all kinds of crazy stuff, and ended up landing a job at Channel 2, which is a NBC affiliate here in town. And I did what you call the night crawler job for a long time. I followed the police around the middle of the night, shot the craziest stories you've ever heard of. And yeah, and from there, worked my way up, ended up being the commercial producer for Channel 2 in Tulsa for a long time. Made my average, at my peak at Channel 2, my average was 200 commercials a year I was producing, which is a lot. And I got tired of that real fast, and then we went freelance and been freelance ever since.
And that's a great way to start.
That's my story in a nutshell.
So, and thanks for just be willing to take some questions here from the crowd, John. I appreciate that.
Sure thing. Any questions? Actually, not that anybody cares. Let me grab it, but.
Yeah, and while John is doing that, I'm going to look at another comment here. Lori, today I went home early today to slow tripping over our shelves and what to clean next. So yeah, I can imagine if one of your coworkers has tested positive, I imagine you're going to want to clean any and every little thing that you can there. So again, thoughts and prayers to you right now. Hope you stay safe and you wind up not catching the virus as well. But what have you got there to show us, John?
I said I started off with makeup. I still do makeup for Halloween every once in a while. Here's this is a Dragon Man mask that we made last year.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
It's kind of hard to see.
Now it looks like you have it on like one of those styrofoam heads. Can you take that off of there and put it on? Or is it
hard to now? It's kind of hard to take it off.
Is it? Okay.
It's actually a plastic mannequin head that we have. Yeah, this is. If you look really close, you get scales and whatnot in that. But But yeah, do a lot of stuff like that, and pretty much make whatever, which is fun. We have some projects coming up in the future that's going to be pretty makeup heavy. I probably won't do the prosthetics on those because I'll be the cinematographer, and my mind and energy will be spent on creating lighting looks for that. But hopefully that'll come out pretty cool. If this virus, hopefully when and if this virus thing all leaves us and life goes back to normal, whatever normal is going to look like after this.
Right. It'd definitely be a lot different, going forward after this. But Ann is asking, John, would we see any of your work in the UK?
That's, unless it's YouTube, that's hard to say. Most of my commercials are around here. The biggest ones I've done, like I said, Walmart and McDonald's. I did shoot a spot with Katy Perry that could have made it to the UK. I don't know. It was a Make-A-Wish spot. So that was traveling. That was going around on the Make-A-Wish's Facebook and Instagram and YouTube pages with Katy Perry. So you may have seen that. I don't know. But who knows?
You never know, right? The power of the internet.
Yeah. Internet's weird about like stuff like that.
So one thing I want to point out is, on my channel, John, I shot a behind the scenes video with you on a commercial shoot about a month ago now, and where we had you guys rented the big DeLorean, the Back to the Future model. And so I know on your YouTube page, I think maybe at least on my video, I posted a link to where they could view that commercial to see some of your work. Is that video still active where I can put that in the description once this live stream is over?
Yeah, it's still active. And on my page as well, there's a kind of behind the scenes on some of the breakdown of the visual effects in that commercial. So I did all the animation with the car and what have you. But I think the commercial came out pretty good. The actors weren't that great. But I hardly ever have any control over story or acting. I mainly am hired on as a camera or a visual effects artist and come up after all that's done. So
right on. No, that makes sense. I got to tell you this too, John. I got to be an extra in one of your commercials. I think it was early part of February, January. Don was watching the news with me the other day, and I love to watch the evening news, and that commercial came on, and she's like, "Daddy, you're on TV." She just reckoned it, even in a crowd of people. She knew I was in there, and that was just the coolest thing. Don loved that. So thank you again for letting me be a part of that, set as well. It's kind of cool to see yourself on television like that. So I enjoyed it too.
Absolutely. Anytime. Looks like Stephanie has a question for me.
Let's see here.
It says, memories. What's my favorite memories in my career so far? Wow, that is a crazy question. Like, where do I begin? I've had some, like, being in this industry and working film and television, like, I have seen it all. Like, you would not believe, like, behind the scenes and all the politics that goes in and all that. One of my crazy stories is I have a gaffer. Gaffer is a guy that he lights movies and television shows. Like, films and TV, there's a hierarchy. The producer, there's a producer, and there's a director under him. Under the director is a assistant director. Under him is the director of photography, which is me. And under the director of photography, there's a gaffer. And under the gaffer, there's a key grip and grips and what have you. But the gaffer, one of my favorite gaffers, his name is Chris. Chris and I shot Katy Perry together. And we were shooting, we lit her up and did her interview in her dressing room of this concert. And so we were in her dressing room, and she had like all these like cool, like, I guess, decorative art pieces hanging out everywhere. And one of the things she had was like these neon lights that were in the shape of flamingos. Well, my buddy Chris was setting up the lights, and he accidentally knocked one of those neon flamingos off, and it shattered into a trillion pieces.
Oh no.
We thought we were dead. We're like, oh crap. Like, he shattered the flamingo. And her art director came in, and we're like, I'm so sorry. We actually knocked over the flamingo. We'll pay for it. Like, I don't like, what do you want us to do? He's like, dude, don't even worry about it. And he walked behind the table. He pulled back the curtain, and I kid you not, there was probably 100 of them in boxes lined up. He goes, it happens all the time. He pulls another one out, sticks it there, and plugs it in. And we just kept on about our business.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does Katy Perry have a thing for flamingo lights? Is that a...
No idea, man. I just shot the interview. I did get to hold her little dog, which was kind of fun.
Oh, right on. Is she like Paris Hilton, where she takes a little doggy with her everywhere, or was that just a particular thing? Do you know?
She has a dog. I think the dog's name is Chicken Nugget or something like that. A little bitty. I mean, this thing is like this big, but she came in the room, and the dog was following her on the ground, and the dog ran straight to me and just hopped right in my lap. And she goes, "Oh, Nugget likes you." I'm like,
that's awesome. No, I want to name a dog Nugget. Because why not? That's a great name.
You know, that is one of many, many stories I have from behind the scenes on films and commercials and different shoots that I've done.
All right, so I'm going to take a left turn here on you, John.
Sure.
So Lori posted, I guess I'll have a piece of cake now. I wish I could send you some. So to add some context to that, I ask people all the time to take pictures of their food and tag me in it on Instagram or Twitter, or whatever. And Lori posted a picture of this German chocolate cake she made, and it looked fantastic. And I'm kind of jealous. I'm low-key jealous that I can't just have a piece of this because it looked fantastic.
That sounds good. Sounds really good.
I love me some German chocolate cake.
Actually, I haven't eaten lunch, so that sounds really good.
Oh, man. So are you still doing, I got to ask, are you still doing the daily fasting, whatever? Are you in like your short window to eat, or are you going back to a normal regimen?
Yeah, so I'm doing the intermittent fasting. The first time I did it for almost 2 years. And the second time, and then I quit for a while because like I hopped on a bunch of movies. And when you're on a movie, like you kind of live like a gypsy, go from town to town shooting this, and you know, you just eat whenever they put food in front of you. Like there's no such thing as fasting on a film set. But no, now I'm back fasting. I've been doing it since January. I do 20 hours a day. My eating window is from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. And after 9 p.m., I fast again until 5 p.m. the next day. That includes zero calories whatsoever. I can drink black coffee. I can have water. There's a keto drink that I drink. But other than that, like nothing, no calories at all.
Man, well, God bless you for that. I don't have the discipline to do that. I was happy when I cut back to 3 meals, John, only twice a day. So that was a good first step for me. So and I hope you don't be sarcastic. I'm not that bad.
You're good. I'm a little more relaxed again. So
you broke up a little bit there with the internet. So what was that, John?
I said I'm a little more lax, and I eat more on the weekend. But
right on. So tell me, what do you plan on having for lunch whenever we get off this today, John?
Actually, my wife made chili last night, and so I probably have some leftover chili.
Outstanding. Was it venison chili by any wild chance? No. Okay.
Meat, man, meat.
No, venison, like deer.
Like deer, no, cow meat.
Cow meat. Okay, no, that's fair. I like to eat the cows too. So here's it. You'll be hungry by the end of this. Food is a big thing here with Ray. So I warned John about that before we went live. Like the conversation always magically somehow steers.
Don't get me wrong. Don't hear me wrong. I love food. Like food is amazing. Like all sorts of food. My wife is gluten-free, dairy-free, and she does it for like health reasons and whatnot. But I do it almost to experiment with my body, like what will work and what won't work. The whole month of January, I did gluten-free and dairy-free with her, and just to see how I would feel off of that. And honestly, like the whole dairy thing, I couldn't really tell a difference. Gluten-free stuff is just gross for the most part. So I'm stick to the fasting.
Yeah, there you go. I'm with you. I like gluten. I like dairy. I like all the things, John. There's not much that I don't eat. So it's part of why I'm big as Ray Ray. It's I like things too much.
I will say this, on your behind the scenes video, when you did the pizza eating montage, you stuffed that whole piece of pizza in your mouth in one bite. She burst out laughing when she saw that.
So I tell you what, that almost took me out, John. I had to cut a good bit of that video out because once I got it in there, I couldn't chew and I had a hard time breathing. I had to like seriously take a minute and calm down. I'm like, how the heck am I going to deal with this? It was a scary moment, but it looked good on the video.
Ask John what favorite type of cheese is. Wow. Okay. So back when I worked at the embassy affiliate Channel 2, that was right down the street from a local Reese's. Reese's is like just a grocery store here in Tulsa. But they had like 1942 maybe vintage cheddar, and that was amazing, like amazing. So like 1910, 1940, something weird like that, vintage cheddar. If you have a chance to go by there at Reese's, pick up some vintage cheddar. It's pretty good.
Right on, man. I love Reese's has really stepped up their cheese game in the last number of years. I enjoy going there. Wife and we get a good handful of cheeses from around the world there at Reese's. I love it. I'm a big fan, like Jarlsberg, Havarti. I like a smoked Gouda. Goat cheese tends to be imported quite a bit. They're just a good variety.
So my guilty pleasure right now, my brother does a lot of film work too with me. He's on set a lot with me. He got me hooked on Dr. Pepper with, I hardly see that, Dr. Pepper with cream soda.
Oh, that sounds really good.
And I don't drink a lot of pop. And when I do, I try to stick to the diet. So cut out the calories.
Right.
But even though that's horrible for you, I don't like condone that at all. That's just my guilty pleasure and blah, blah, blah. I know it's bad, but I'm going to do it anyways. But yeah, Dr. Pepper cream soda is amazing.
Right on. I've not had that yet. I'll have to try it.
Yeah. If you like cream soda, like
I do love some cream soda, man. I'm a big fan. And so it's someone's talking, do you like blue cheese, John? I mean, I'm a big fan of blue cheese. I actually enjoy it a lot, but
no, I don't do blue cheese. So sometimes I will say that sometimes in salad, I'll eat blue cheese in salad, but I'm not about to go like grab some blue cheese and eat it by itself. Like that's just not my thing.
Oh yeah, I can't just eat it by itself. It has to be with something. It's too strong of a flavor to just eat on its own.
It's like ginger. Like ginger by itself will knock you over, but like you put it with something and it's good.
I agree. And so, in another comment from you, we were talking about lasagna yesterday. He ate all the lasagna yesterday, and Lori just got one piece. So that's no fun.
I love lasagna.
I do too. So you know Jose Torres. He was on with us I think yesterday or the day before. And Chris challenged us to a Mexican lasagna challenge, something I have never had before, but I've never made one. And so I've got to come up with a way to make this Mexican lasagna now. And so off the top of your head, give me some random advice on how to make a Mexican lasagna.
Me?
Off the top of your head. I know I put you on the spot there, completely random.
Okay. Mexican lasagna, I don't even know what is in Mexican. I've had regular lasagna. It sounds delicious. I'll try it for sure.
Right.
But I don't know.
I don't know what to put in it. It was just like, I'm thinking I want to use some, like the corn tortillas for the layers instead of the flat pasta.
Corn tortillas. I would stick some like refried beans in there,
Oh, that'd be a great layer. See, there you go. I'm thinking even like a layer of rice, maybe.
Fajita chicken in there.
Yes. Yeah. Just have a varying different meats in there. I think that would be great. So
I don't know if you knew this, but my mother's actually Hispanic, and I can make some mean homemade salsa.
Oh, right on.
Well, I'll have to make you some salsa and bring it to you sometime.
Dude, I would love that. I'm a big salsa. I'm all about making salsa verde. I like to use the tomatillos when I make salsa at home. I'm a big fan of that.
one of my clients that I shoot for is Morelos, Supermercados Morelos in town.
Yeah. From, I think what, 3 of those in town?
Yeah, so I do some of their commercials, and they always feed us in their cafe in there when we shoot. Like we get
very nice.
That's my favorite. My favorite shoots is when like we get good food like that.
Right on.
Johnson family says he lives 20 miles from the nearest Reese's. Where do you live?
Yeah, they live out by Jay, Oklahoma, if you know where that is.
Yeah. So I actually live in Coweta, which I guess is good. Takes me probably I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes to get to the nearest Reese's from my house.
Right on. So I'm thinking if memory serves me right, they're talking about a Reese's in Langley, Oklahoma. If you've ever been up there out by Grand Lake.
Okay.
There's a Reese's there. So I went to high school in Adair, if you know where that is, John. It's another tiny town northeast Oklahoma. So coming from California to Adair, Oklahoma was
coming from Adair, you're probably familiar with Dry Gulch, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I grew up out there. Like I grew up in some of those shows and movies and all that. So that's kind of my mentor used to light all that stuff, and so he got like I was extra on some of those shows and stuff that they shot out there.
Oh, right on. Was it like the Captain Bill or something in my park?
Gospel Bill.
Yes, I knew there was a Bill in it somewhere. And even at Dry Gulch, they had the Christmas train. That's a big deal. I'm not sure if that still runs.
I volunteered out there for many years at the Christmas train, and my family did too. And yeah, been out there a ton.
Oh, right on. Yeah. So my family, I still got family that lives out in that area. You know, if you're going north on Highway 69 to get to Dry Gulch, you're going to turn right on Dry Gulch Road or whatever. But if you turn left and cross over the railroad tracks, there you go at about 7 or 8 miles. My parents still live out in rural Mace County, in a little place called I think it's Diamond Head Estates or something like that.
Nice.
So I don't know if you're familiar with that at all or not, but it's not far from Dry Gulch at all.
It's my grandma lives. All of my life she's had a big ranch between Claymore and Oologah. So she's a big 7-acre ranch out there we grew up on, and got to ride horses and chase cows and cause all kinds of mischief.
Oh, right, because there's not much else to do out in the country like that. You find unique ways to get yourself in trouble and have a good time. But
there's nothing like being able to walk like a couple miles in like just open field. Like there's no other feeling in the world just being able to walk a straight couple miles in open field with nothing as far as you can see. Like it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Oh, absolutely. And John, I saw a comment here about guacamole. Are you a fan of guacamole at all?
Oh, yes, I love guac. Love guacamole. I could eat guacamole every day of my life.
Oh, I know, right? I'm a huge avocado fan, and we made Stephanie Carper hungry. So sorry about that.
I'm hungry.
And I am too. So I ate a really late breakfast today because I slept in. I haven't had lunch myself, and now it's encroaching dinner time, and I'm like, oh, my hunger beast is roaring. He's made his presence known.
Like I said, I didn't have lunch, but my wife actually, she made, I guess a late breakfast, but she made like bacon and toast and eggs. And so we had all that this morning.
Oh man, bacon. I think that's the only food group that actually exists, John. Everything else is just supplementary to that.
She's learned me. She's learned me finally. She's like, so are you fasting today? Is Saturday? Are you like, why? What are you getting at? What are you making? She's like, I'm gonna make bacon. I'm like, I'm not fasting.
It's like, how can you, right?
Bacon. Why? Bacon's like in the triangle of food groups, bacon's like at the top.
Yes. No, absolutely, man. I agree. So I tell you what, John, I think I've got to cut off here, man. I need to get some food now. I'm really hungry. I can't take it anymore. But before I go, let's see here. So JJ YouTube, we made them hungry as well, but they're almost in bed now. So hopefully that doesn't keep you from getting rest tonight. But anyway, guys, thank you, John, so much for being here. I appreciate you, man.
Anytime.
Always a good conversation. I love the behind the scenes stuff and what you do. After this gets posted, I'm going to drop a couple extra links to John's YouTube channel and also his website to Motion Frame Films. That's the production company that he owns right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Or you can follow me on Instagram too.
And yes, I'll be sure to link your Instagram as well. Give him a like and a follow. Be sure to share some of his social media stuff with your family and friends. Let's get the word out about the great work that he does and is doing. And for all you folks in the Ray family, I say it every video, I love you guys so much, and I appreciate y'all being here. If you're brand new to this channel, if you would, right down in this corner, smash that red subscribe button. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you get a pop-up every time I post a new video. And remember to be biggest. Be what makes somebody else's day great. So stay safe, guys. Stay home, and we will see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks again, John.
Sure thing. Thank you.